Hi everyone, Andy here. We're a daily devotional from Antrim Coast Vineyard Church. I'm sure like many of you, you've been Zooming or FaceTiming or Skyping or whatever it is you use technology-wise to keep in touch with friends and family during this time where we are all isolated and locked in. One of the joys I've had is having to Zoom with my old school friends. We've done it every couple of weeks for the last few weeks, some of which I haven't seen in person for a good number of years. In fact, I was racking my brains and trying to think of the last time we were all together in a room, and it was many years ago. We're all spread out all over the country. Some of us in contact with some, others in contact with others, but it's been great just to kind of catch up and chat, and it's literally like it was 20 something years ago when we were all sitting together and we're having a laugh and chatting together and just catching up and just seeing how we're all coping in the current circumstances we're all in. And that's one of the joys that's been amazing, is just to being able to sort of reminisce and talk through things, and some of the daft things we got up to and some of the fun things, some of the funny stories we had about each other, and just really good things, and having a laugh. And that's really what I'm thinking about today is laughter and the joy of laughter, and the amazing gift that it is that we can have fun. The Reverend Mark Tanner, who is going to be the new Bishop of Chester, and I was reading an article about him. He's a former youth worker. He was a youth worker in a church in Coventry, not too far from where I grew up. And he says this in a recent article. He says, "I have a high theology of fun. It developed as a provocative statement to get students thinking, but I recognized I was touching on something far deeper. Jesus says in John 10 verse 10, 'A thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full.' And whilst it is a profound journey to walk alongside people in pain and grief, we shouldn't overlook the fact that in our life as Christians, we rejoice in that sense of being alive, having imagination, and being joyful. Learning to party as well as to weep with those who weep is a vital part of my vocation," he says, that we can sometimes overlook. And I love that he says that it goes hand in hand with journeying with other people in grief and suffering, journeying with others and sharing life together, and everything that it is. And as Jesus says in John 10:10, "I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." And Andrew has touched on this before in another video, that having life with Jesus is about experiencing every emotion that Jesus had when he was here on earth and lived on earth as man. He experienced every emotion. He experienced grief. He experienced his love for his friends. He experienced laughter and joy and being in the company of others and sharing together, sharing meals. And it's just all the emotions that we have are things that Jesus experienced himself. And he says he has come to have life in its fullness. And yes, we will have pain, we will have grief, we will have suffering, but we can also have that joy, and that joy is there. When I was thinking about that and the emotions that we all have, it got my mind thinking to movies, as it kind of always does. And the Disney movie Inside Out, where you've got the 5 different emotions in the head of the small child, and there's joy, there's happiness, there's anger, and all the different ways that these little emotions are portrayed. And we can get like that, and especially at the minute, we can be heightened in how we express our emotions because of the circumstances we're in. In the book of Ecclesiastes, it says this. This is in Ecclesiastes 3, verses 1 and 4. "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. There is a time to weep and a time to laugh." A time to weep, a time to grieve, and we will grieve and we will be sad, but there will be a time for joy and for laughter. When we think of laughter, I read recently that children laugh about 450 times on average a day, and adults only laugh about 15. I think sometimes I'm probably more of a child, so I would laugh quite a lot of the time, probably at my own dad jokes, but that's the way it goes. And I thought, laughter is like bringing a ray of sunshine into the world. It's a way that we can just share with others, and it's good for our health too. It's good for our physical health. That laughter is good for our body. It relaxes us. It produces endorphins. It boosts our immune system. It can protect our hearts. It can burn calories. That's all good physical things. But as I said at the beginning, when I'm on the Zoom with my mates who I haven't seen for such a long time, we laugh so much just at each other, at stories about what we're doing and daft things we've done. But it's just great, and it's good mental therapy just to have a laugh and enjoy that. There's a line from another movie. I think it's from Elf, the movie Elf. It's at Christmas, not very Christmassy at the minute, but a Christmas Elf, and he says, "Smiling's my favourite." And just think about that. Smiling's my favourite. There is a time to weep and a time to laugh. Let's make smiling our favourite as we journey this week. Let's try and find something to smile about and enjoy. Take care. See you soon.